okay? You're going to be particularly likely to remember, bring to mind, your 5 faculty that suck at teaching, because that's your beliefs about faculty, okay? Or you might think Cal is the best faculty teachers ever, and it can easily generate 5 examples, because that is part of your belief system about professors, okay? More likely to pay attention to consistent but inconsistent with some exceptions. People always ask at this time, well, what if something, you're always so stunned when you see the seemingly nice, normal man who works, at the post office, turns out to be a serial killer, okay? Yeah. Those kinds of situations that are completely inconsistent with our beliefs about what nice, normal policemen do in their spare time is not kill people, but it's so wildly inconsistent that, yes, it's something we remember. For the most part, in our everyday lives, we tend to capture and notice things that fit our beliefs, okay? To tell you a quick empirical example of this, how do we know this? Well, let's go back to our research methods kind of thinking. A very simple experiment had 2 conditions in the study, and they, basically, in both the conditions, they had a lot of control in the study. In both conditions, they showed participants a videotape of a woman interacting with her husband at home. Okay, both conditions, that's what people saw. And actually, they saw the exact same videotape, very much controlled. But in one condition, prior to seeing the videotape, participants were led to believe that the woman they were about to see on the videotape was a librarian. In the other condition, they're seeing the same woman, same exact videotape, but they're told ahead of time that the woman they're about to see on the videotape interacting with her husband is a waitress. Okay, so now what they've done basically is made librarian or waitress schemas sort of on the top of people's minds. On a pretest with a different group of participants, they found out what people's stereotypes about waitresses and librarians. And they plugged in different kinds of scenes and information in the video, again, identical across conditions. So they had the lady eat salad, wear glasses, play piano, because that's what librarians do apparently, okay? And they also planted things like a bowling bag, okay? Because that's apparently what waitresses do and what people's stereotype of waitresses are. And lo and behold, showing that people tend to remember stereotype, schema, consistent information more than inconsistent information, people led to believe she was a librarian. They're simply were told, this is a librarian you're about to see. Remember, her glasses and her salad eating behavior more so than they remember the bowling ball in the scene, whereas those simply led to believe that she was a waitress seeing the exact same data out there. Here we go with the the exact same data. What they take away with, man, she's probably like in a bowling league or something. Okay? Even though she's showing the exact same information, different schemas brought to bear led to different information being captured and remembered. Okay, really, really straightforward example. With me? Yes. Okay. That's the first effect of schemas. Second effect of schemas is going to be one in which I'm going to attempt to replicate a well-known 1946 experiment that always works in this class. So to this time. Okay, we're going to divide the class in half. You are my right side, you are my left side. In the middle right there, choose a side. You're right or left, okay? Choose a side for real. It's only fun if you really play along. Okay, and we're going to participate in the study one condition at a time, okay? So can I have my left people close your eyes and really do it? Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Hi guys, okay, this condition, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to show you a stimulus person, and I want you to try to form an impression of this man named Elliot based on the information that I'm giving you. Just think about it quietly to yourselves. Left side people, keep your eyes closed. Okay, hopefully you have some sort of impression about this guy. Left side, open your eyes. Right side, close your eyes for real. Okay, left side, I want you to meet this guy, okay, and form an impression of him based on the information I am providing you. Okay, open your eyes, everybody. I gotta ask you a question. I want you to make a judgment about this guy, Elliot. Is Elliot generous? Commit to an answer, yes or no. You think Elliot's a generous guy, yes or no? Okay, raise your hand if you think Elliot is a generous guy, like he'd loan you his car, his notes, or what have you. Okay, you guys totally think he's generous. You guys like hate this guy. Okay, he's like dirt. Okay, now you're thinking to yourself, big deal. Okay, you like said, saying different things. Yes, it was an experiment. The conditions were different, but only in a single way. Each of you saw 7 characteristics about Elliot, who actually is Tom Gilovich, okay, Professor Cornell, and the lead author of your textbook, and he's really generous, this guy. Okay, so I showed you 6 out of the 7 traits I showed you were identical. 6 out of 7 is the majority of information about him. I showed you a very pleasant-looking picture of him, and yet I don't think anyone over here was willing to give the guy a break and call him generous. Okay, and actually, not all of you did either, but whatever. Let me show you what the 2 sides of the room saw. Okay, the right side of the room saw intelligent, skillful, industrious, determined, practical, and cautious, and so did the left side. Okay, vast majority of traits were identical, but one trait did differ. Okay, I had enormous control, same experience more or less across the different conditions, but one thing differed: warm versus coldness. Yeah, Alex.
I'm curious, does that matter if you look at the picture first or read? Because I looked at the picture first and I didn't really think about it being cold actually.
You're in the cold condition?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're noise. It's noise. Like you're manipulative. I say that in the nicest way possible. Yeah, not all the participants. When we say one condition is higher or lower than the other, that doesn't mean everyone in that condition acted a certain way. It means on average, those people acted a certain way. He is not part of the average. So he didn't do what I was hoping to do. I wanted him to pay attention to cold. Okay, but most of you did. Yeah.
But it's interesting because you didn't see the picture, you just saw the word cold. In the picture, he looks very warm.
Right.
So
Right.
Our condition
Yeah.
is very picture in a way, I'm sure.
Well, what do you mean? So wouldn't you have thought that would have worked against it working the experiment then?
Yeah, like I'm sure it causes more, I guess, like outliers or people, I guess.
Oh, I see. They're saying because the picture looks so warm, and I agree, I totally see the picture so warm, that cold, it might not have gone so well, whereas if the picture was a little bit more ambiguous, it could have been warm or cold, more neutral.
No teeth in the smile.
No teeth in the smile, all these different cues that we associate with warm. But if anything, that worked against us getting the predicted results, and yet we still found them. You know what I'm getting at here, I hope. The idea is that we have schemas for what warm and cold people are like. Okay, those are traits like extroverted we talked about, we have schemas for. And presumably most of us in our schemas about warm people, it includes things like generosity. That's why even though I didn't explicitly say to you, hey, this guy's really generous, you were able to infer that he was generous because warmth and generosity often go hand in hand. You guys saw cold, your schemas about cold are lighting up, and now you interpret things like intelligent, like cold-blooded intelligence, okay? And you're thinking, oh, cold and generosity do not go hand in hand. Cold makes me infer that he's stingy, and that's why none of you were willing to say, I don't think he'd loan me his car, I don't think him as very generous. And this replicates classic set of experiments by Solomon Asch in 1946. This is the beginning years of the social cognition research in our field, so really exciting times. In that original study, 91% of people in the warm condition, like us, assumed that the target person would be generous. They also made assumptions about how good-natured the person would be, even how humorous the person would be. I guess for them, warmth is associated with having a good sense of humor, being good-natured, and so forth, whereas people on the left did not make these inferences. So what I'm trying to get at here is one of the most obvious and most frequent effect that schemas have in our everyday social cognition, and that is that schemas allow us to fill in the gaps about other people. They allow us to take a leap, to make inferences, to make judgments about people and what they're like, even though we had no data to actually back it up. No direct data to back it up. I give you no direct data about Elliot's generosity. but you went ahead and made an assumption there. We do that all the time, okay? Here's another empirical example of that because I really want you guys to appreciate the data that back up these kinds of assertions. Imagine you're in this study, classic study by Nancy Cantor and Walter Mischel, done 40 years ago. Participants learn descriptors about an introverted or extroverted person, meaning they're being shown a series of descriptors that imply this person is extroverted or imply this person is introverted. Goes to eat restaurants alone, likes to be quietly by himself, likes to dance on the table at parties, never goes to parties, what have you. Participants are then later shown, that's two conditions, as introverted versus extroverted. Then all participants are later shown a list of introverted and extroverted descriptors, behaviors that are associated with extroversion and introversion. Some of them are true positives, meaning they were actually shown earlier about the person that they were learning about, but others are false positives. They weren't actually shown earlier, but they are associated with introversion and extroversion. These are like the word sleep. They're associated with the words I showed you earlier, but they were not in fact shown before. You see where this is going? What do you think is finding here? You're nodding. I feel you know. Yeah.
I think that people were able to associate the extroverted false positive words with things that they saw before.
That's right. Participants are asked, which ones did you see before? Just like I asked you, which ones did you see before? Which of these words do you recall seeing before? 47% of you mistakenly said you recalled seeing sleep. Well, a lot of participants in this study, they made the same memory, really inferential mistake that you guys did. Participants filled in the gaps based on their schemas, meaning if I was led to believe this person was extroverted, I say to you that I mistakenly say to you, yeah, I saw some of those extroverted characteristics before when I didn't actually, because I made inferences. I made inferences about what this person is like. This is really a combination of inferences and memory. So really a combination of the first two effects of schemas. In the introverted condition, I mistakenly said I saw some of the introverted descriptors that had not actually been shown, because I went ahead and inferred, based on my schema of introversion, that those things are true of this person. Okay? Imagine, think about somebody that you met this last week, okay? Think about somebody you met in a class, in a discussion section, on campus, at some activity. Have that person in mind. Think about something you learned about them, that they're in such and such fraternity, that they're from Orange County, that they are from Tahoe, or something. And that's about all you learned about them. And I said to you, oh, okay, but what are they like? What else are they like? Okay? My guess is that you'd be able, you wouldn't say to me, well, I just know that they're from Orange County. That's all I know. Get away from me, okay? You would be able to make other kinds of inferences. You would come up with a little bit more probably, because you have schemas about what Orange County people are like, what psych majors are like, what those kind of fraternity brothers are like. And they allow you to, for better or worse, accurately or inaccurately, fill in the gaps. Okay, there's this term that I love, I don't know if you'll love it, but Jerome Bruner, a very famous early social cognition theorist, he talks about going beyond the information given. Schemas allow us to go beyond the information given. All I know is that this person's from Orange County, but I got this elaborate idea about what Orange County people are like, okay? And that schema allows me to go beyond the information given, which is only their address. Okay, and I go ahead and I make all kinds of inferences. Again, that sounds really bad when it comes to talking about stereotypes about particular groups, but it's really good when you're walking into this situation and you're thinking, oh, this is a lecture hall. That lets me go beyond the information given and assume that within a few minutes someone is going to come talk, and I should probably take my notebook out or computer out. It lets me make all these kinds of inferences. It lets me know what to do, how to move about in my everyday life. Okay? Okay, let me see the time. Keep to my end of the deal. Okay, I'm going to talk about one more effect of schemas. There are two more, but I only talk about one more. And that's that schemas allow us to disambiguate information out there that is ambiguous. It shapes our interpretations of ambiguous information. What do I have here? Let's see. Okay. What's an example of shaping our interpretations of ambiguous information? Maybe many of us have on our minds, we just saw a news broadcast about that Ray Rice video. Is he a football player? Right, he's a football player. There's a video of him in an elevator abusing his now wife or fiancé or what have you. And so I've got on my mind ideas and my schemas about domestic violence. And I'm walking across campus and I see a man and a woman ambiguously engaged in some sort of physical shuffle. Okay, I'm going to interpret that in a particular way because I've got domestic violence on my mind. Okay, it's an ambiguous situation, but my schemas about domestic violence are changing my interpretation of that. Okay, here's another example that I'll give you that has been done in a study where participants were shown two different versions of nearly identical stories. But you're going to see as I read them to you just how different your interpretations of these stories are because of what I gently nudge you to think is going on. Listen, Nancy woke up feeling sick again, and she wondered if she really were pregnant. How would she tell the professor she had been seeing? And the money was another problem. Nancy went to see the doctor. She arrived at the office, and a nurse went through the usual procedures with her. Nancy stepped on the scale, and the nurse recorded her weight. The doctor then entered the room and examined the results. He smiled and said, well, it seems my expectations have been confirmed. When the examination was over, Nancy left the office and headed for class. She arrived at the lecture hall and decided to sit in the front row. The professor went to the podium and began lecturing immediately. All through lecture, Nancy couldn't concentrate. The lecture seemed especially long, but finally it ended. The professor was surrounded by people, so Nancy quickly left the building. Okay, you're probably thinking, whoa, sexual harassment, this is like taboo, what's going on, she's pregnant, seeing her professor, this is not cool. Okay, listen to this. Jack woke up wondering how much weight he gained so far. His football coach had told him he would start in the game Saturday only if he gained enough weight and got a passing grade on his chemistry test. Jack went to see the doctor. He arrived at the office, and the nurse went through the usual procedures with him. Jack stepped on the scale, and the nurse recorded his weight. The doctor then entered the room and examined the results. He smiled and said, well, it seems my expectations have been confirmed. When the examination was over, Jack left the office and headed to class. He arrived at the lecture hall and decided to sit in the front row. The professor went to the podium and began lecturing immediately. All through lecture, Jack couldn't concentrate. The lecture seemed especially long, but finally it ended. The professor was surrounded by people, so Jack quickly left the building. So really the exact same situation, but you're thinking presumably really different things, because in one case you've got illicit relationships, unwanted pregnancies in mind, and shaping your understanding of what Nancy's doing in that lecture hall. She's freaking out when you talk to the professor. In the other case, you've got athletic standards, has to get a grade, has to be a certain weight, whatever things happen in the athlete world, and that's what's on your mind. And the exact same situation means something totally different. Jack is fidgety not because he's worried about unwanted pregnancy, okay, Jack is fidgety because he wants to make sure he can play in the game on Saturday. Okay? Schema shape interpretations of ambiguous information. Okay, what? Get your eye clickers out, but don't start. I'll get this by the end of the semester. Come on. Oh, hang on. Go. Which of the following is the clearest example of schema shaping interpretations of ambiguous information? A. Amanda's schema about cowboys leads her to assume that all cowboys are skilled at riding horses. B. Amanda judges the ideas suggested by an intern at her husband's advertising firm to be unlikely to succeed. C. Amanda never goes to office hours. She holds the belief that professors are unhelpful. And D. Whenever Amanda sees her ex-boyfriend around campus, she experiences feelings of sadness. This is hard. Okay. Keep clicking? Yes, clicking. And we'll end talking about this, and we'll be ending right on time, I think. Okay. Let's get up to 250 if we could. Okay. The correct answer was ambiguous. Okay. Yes, B. That's correct. That is what I was looking for. Okay. Okay. The idea here. What was the idea here? Why did you choose B? For those of you who chose B.
She's filling in the knowledge.
She's filling in the knowledge. Well, what's the ambiguity there? Right, but it's an intern, right? So she's making assumptions that it's unlikely, but it's an idea. It's open to interpretation. Okay, the first one's not about that. It's just about generalizing. Using your schemas to fill in the gap. Generalize about all professors. Amanda doesn't go to office hours because she hopes believes that professors are unhelpful. Period. Whatever. Okay, not really one of the effects that we were just talking about. Whenever Amanda sees her ex-boyfriend on campus, she feels sadness. Period. This is not a particularly elaborate example of the effects of schema. But the idea behind B was that ideas are open to different interpretation, and likely her notion, Amanda's notion that this is an intern, she has ideas that interns aren't that good, leads her to judge them more negatively. Okay? Okay, we'll pick up effects of schemas on Wednesday.